was, I had started the circle, and I must thank my circle members, because every one of them deserves to be up here. They're a courageous group of people, and the first night we met was on 9/11, and it was the 9/11, and we had 15 people show up, because we looked at it as poetry was a form of prayer, and bringing the breath of people back to life. And it's been going strong ever since. Everybody shows up, whether they've had tragedies in their life, there's been deaths of children, spouses, surgeries, everyone comes to it every month. I think that's courageous of them. And so the honor has to be shared with them. The honor also has to be shared with the community, because as Carol knows and Vince might not know, or I always tell on myself, that's why people show up to see me every month. Every month people show up to see what Laurie's going to tell on herself. And about 12 or 13 years ago, I wanted to start a poetry circle in a neighboring community. And so it went along for a month, and every month we discussed people's poems. Famous people's poems, not my poems. And I got called downstairs after about a year, and I thought, oh, they're calling me down to commend me for my good service. And they were actually calling me downstairs to say I couldn't discuss a poem, that they didn't like the poem I had chose. That was a famous poem to discuss. And so I was a little surprised by this. It was a library, after all. And I kind of reminded her of the fact that the Constitution says we can talk about poetry and literature, and that's what we're all here for. I ended up finding a job here among people that forward community appreciation of literature and poetry, and I'm very glad I did. Pablo Neruda, a famous Chilean poet, once his house was invaded by government people, and when his house was invaded, they were asking him if there was anything dangerous among his things that they were ravishing. And he said, yes, my poems are dangerous. So we know that the impact of poetry in a community can make people think about things, but I've never been told among my peers and among my community that I can't, they might not always agree with what I have to say, but we forward our First Amendment rights to talk about what I have to say. So as my first occasional poem, I've picked a poem that Naomi Nye read for me when I told her this story, because Allen Ginsberg would have been proud of the fact that we were trying to forward poetry. The friends have been wonderful supporting me through this, making this lovely meal for us today. I'm just overwhelmed by the board doing this for me, Joy and Adam who got this started. And I wanted to begin with my first occasional poem, which is not my poem. And if you bear with me.
Laurie, we gave you some water in case you need it.
Okay, thank you.